Okay, great. Welcome to tonight's Facebook and Instagram live. We're going live on Facebook and Instagram with Laura Rimmer. Very excited about this. It's taken a little while to get Laura booked in because she's been so busy and weddings have started up again. So I'm really, really pleased to have her here. So Laura, would you like, so I'll just say I met Laura on a personal brand photo shoot for Laura's business. If you look at her website, there's lots of pictures that I took, which are great. And it was... Sorry, it's coming. Oh, sorry, something happened with my computer. Yeah, so I met Laura on a personal brand photo shoot, and then we've been business buddies ever since, which is great. Yes, so yeah, so I followed Laura's work from a while. She's absolutely amazing. So yeah, Laura, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, yeah, thanks, Amber. Yep, great to be here. So yeah, I'm Laura Rimmer, and I'm a nutritionist and health coach of almost 20 years at this point, which sounds crazy. It feels like only yesterday when I started in nutrition. So I specialize in a ketogenic diet and an alkaline diet, which sounds kind of like, you might be familiar with keto, you may not be, but it's quite a specific diet. So keto in particular is low carb, high fat, and an alkaline diet. There's lots of misconceptions, but it's around eating lots of alkaline, mineral-rich foods. And why do we want to do that? Well, for a couple of reasons. Most people have issues around blood sugar and a deficiency in these alkaline minerals. So by eating a kind of alkaline and ketogenic diet, we can actually do a number of things. So we can lose weight really rapidly. A lot of my clients experience quite quick weight loss, but also sustained weight loss. And what we're going to talk about today is outward signs of beauty and health can really be experienced when we up our alkaline minerals that many people are just deficient in. So that's the kind of aesthetic thing, but also there's many functions in the body that require these alkaline minerals, such as your heart function, your muscle function, sleep. So there's some real benefits to be had by kind of looking at this type of diet. So, and as I say, I've been a nutritionist and health coach for almost 20 years. So it's taken me a while to kind of hone in on this way of eating. I was a vegan for 6 years and done all sorts of diets. You know, any diet you can think of, I've probably tried at some point. So yes, that's my background. I've coached thousands of people one-to-one at this point, and many more have gone through my courses, and I've got 2 major published books as well on the alkaline diet. So that's where I'm now. Now, it's easy to think, well, okay, that's okay for you, but, you know, I'm really struggling with diabetes, or I'm overweight, or I'm stressed about an upcoming wedding. But just to say, if you're struggling with your health and weight at all, I've been there. I was overweight. I was totally unfit. I was a smoker in my teens and 20s. I don't know if you can relate to this at all, but just feeling tired all of the time, no energy. I was struggling with the beginnings of an autoimmune disease in my early 20s. And so that was really what spurred me on to take nutrition and diet and health seriously. So yeah, that's kind of my background.
Wow, amazing. So yeah, so the reason I've asked Laura to come on today is, well, she's obviously spoken a lot about her background, but these webinar series are mainly for, they've been focused on brides planning a wedding during lockdown. So we started them when it was full lockdown, but now we've actually continued it just because there's so many issues and restrictions still with wedding planning. And obviously the government changed the restrictions again. So people who were thinking they could have 30 people at their wedding, they now cannot. So it's just, you know, we don't know how long this is going to go on for. Hopefully it will go on not very much longer, but who knows, you know. So I really thought it'd be fantastic to get Laura on. Obviously this is a wedding photography Facebook and Instagram account, but I really think that this I know I've got a lot of suppliers and other wedding industry people who follow and like the page and Instagram account. So I think this will be really relevant to anyone. Obviously, we're going to focus it around brides, but actually there's so much amazing information. And I know that I'll be taking notes because during lockdown, my daughter has been baking a lot and I haven't actually been on top health form. So usually in the wedding season I'm really fit and healthy because I'm running around like a crazy headless chicken, but I've been relaxing and not eating very well, so I'm going to be definitely taking some notes during your tips, Laura. So yeah, it's another reason why I got you on here, because I want some advice as well. That yeah, so let me get into the questions. Yeah, so we've had lots of different people on the live webinars, from florists and wedding planners, stationery designers, just all sorts. So it's been really, really different and varied. So Laura, what's been your best and worst thing about lockdown so far?
The best thing has been, well, aside from the glorious sunshine here in the UK that we've experienced, which has just been, that's sweetened all of this, hasn't it, somewhat. I think just having, and I talk about this on a coaching call with my clients last week, the ability to, my life before, maybe a lot of other people's lives, felt a bit crazy. Like there's so many things, just busy, rushing around, as you said, Amber, a bit like a headless chicken. And just being able to take a little bit of a step back and to take a slightly slower pace of life. And as I explained to my clients, it's almost like the difference between a buffet where it's like everything on your plate, like none of it really mixes, you leave feeling a bit stuffed, compared to like a gourmet meal where you just have a smaller portion, but it's more satisfying. And so I think, there's been that opportunity to say, okay, what really matters now, and what do I want to keep on my plate, and what do I want to kind of actually just keep off or get rid of. So that's been nice, just to reevaluate things, I think.
I love that picture. That really kind of, yeah, it's a really good illustration of what it's like. Yeah.
And I think worst thing for me as a Christian lady, just not being able to go to church, having that kind of lifeblood of my spiritual family has been tough. But technology has been great in that respect, doing Zoom calls and YouTube lives and still meeting up with people, and catching up with you, Amber, in the park every now and then.
When's your church opening again? Ours opened on Sunday.
Did it?
Yeah, 50 people.
Really? Oh wow, cool.
Spaced out. It was really good. We couldn't sing, it was really weird, but it was really good to be back and see people.
Yeah, totally. Well, we're doing outdoor services at the moment.
Wow.
So yeah, we're back as well, which is nice.
Cool.
We're just hoping for good weather.
Oh yeah. Oh, brilliant. So what's been, I know you're not in the wedding industry, but what has been the best and worst thing for your clients? I'm sure we can relate to it, but yeah, so how is it, how has your lockdown journey been, and for your business, and how has that affected everything?
Well, I was thinking about this, and so is the question about your clients and brides specifically, or my business and my clients, or
so what was my question? So tell us a little bit about your lockdown journey, and what does this look like for your clients? What have you been doing in your business, and how have you dealt with it?
Well, so it's been interesting, the journey for my clients and my business, and I think it can relate quite directly to probably your clients as well, Amber, and brides to be and suppliers, because it really seems like, I don't know, coaching before, I'd either work one-to-one with clients, or clients would join one of my courses in a group program or just an online learning program, and there wasn't, not always, a huge sense of urgency. Okay, I've paid my money, I've bought this course, or I'm signed up some coaching, and there's almost the sense that, well, because I've paid the money, then it's a done deal without me doing too much. And that's been, as a coach, that's always my number one concern, I guess, is, okay, this person through the door into my coaching program, how can I now help them get the results that they want to get? But what I've noticed in this period is, because of every day on TV and social media, we're confronted with a very real risk, and people are told, there's a real danger out there, and a specific danger to our health, I've noticed my clients have really taken it a lot more seriously. So there's less, I'm having to do less legwork in terms of persuading them that they need to actually put this into action. And it does remind me of, I don't know whether you're the same, Amber, but when I was a bride to be, when you've got that date, that wedding date is set, and you've got to fit into a dress, which for me was like 1 or 2 sizes smaller than I was. And, everyone wants to look good for their photos, right? Don't they? So, there's a real sense of urgency in terms of getting your diet and health nailed for that special day. And it seems like this whole situation in our society has added that sense of urgency to people as well, wedding or not.
Yeah, just to maintain optimum health and immunity. Yeah, definitely. So so with regards to that, obviously, wedding dates aren't necessarily, fixed at the minute. So, how can you advise, what advice have you got for brides who, they might have had an August wedding date, or they might have had an April wedding date that's been postponed. Now, it might be August and they still can't have the wedding that they want because of this restrictions. So, if their wedding's in, say, February, I know that my brother and his fiance, they've had to postpone their wedding till February, and they're worried now that all the groomsmen aren't going to fit in their suits because it's just after Christmas. I know that sounds silly, but actually it's a long time. And as people, I really worked out loads before my wedding, and obviously this might be a longer term thing. So how can you kind of, what advice have you got for brides in that situation where, they haven't necessarily got that date as they would have done, so they can't do, say, an 8-week plan because they might be getting married, they're not sure of the date potentially?
Yeah, sure. I think it's a really good opportunity to, rather than think, it can be tempting to kind of game the system a bit, can't it? Okay, like we said, if I've got this date, it's X amount of weeks away, so if I do this specific diet for 6-8 weeks, then I'll get to that wedding date. And then what do people do on the honeymoon? Kind of splurge, and oftentimes,
Eat lots of cream cheese. That's what I
did. Yeah, or you can eat buffets. And so there is a real temptation when we have a very definite date in mind to work everything out very specifically, so we get into the dress on the day, and then whatever happens kind of after that, it doesn't really matter. But now, like you say, because that date is unknown, there's a really good opportunity to, rather than focus on trying to just fit into that dress, let's look more holistically at overall health, at overall immunity, things that are sustainable over the long term, rather than trying to lose like 10 pounds in 2 weeks and yo-yoing and whatever else. So why not try and lose, if you're looking to lose weight, and I'm just assuming that most people are, whatever size we are, we always want to lose a little bit of weight, don't we? So just focus on eating really well and not trying to lose a lot of weight, maybe just like a pound a week. And I work with people and they're like, oh, that's nothing. Pound a week's not fast enough. It's like, no, it is, because that's sustainable. You could do that for the next year. If you've got 50 pounds to lose, you could easily do that in a year. And I've worked with many clients who've done that and kept it off. Whereas if we try and, sprint into this huge amount of weight loss, it's invariably going to go back on. So just take it slow and steady. Focus on eating whole foods, nutritionally rich foods, which will stabilize your blood sugar. You won't have these huge spikes and dips in blood sugar, which plays havoc with all sorts of things in your system and is really inflammatory. And in terms of exercise, rather than, well, we can't at the moment, can't we? Rather than like beasting yourself at the gym and doing these high intensity programs, just focus on simple things. It's not rocket science. Get outside, go for a walk each day, 20-minute walk, an hour walk, get some fresh air, sunlight on your body, which, we need the vitamin D. That's going to boost your immune system, boost your sense of well-being. So it's really, it's simple things. And I think there is a real opportunity to do these things in a bit more of a relaxed way rather than an intense way. So why not take advantage of that? Because that's going to work over the long term as well as the short term. So
Brilliant. And also this time is, wedding planning is really stressful anyway. And I can, imagine, obviously I'm on the receiving end of the bride, so I know how stressed they can be. So, if you've got any advice for stressed brides and, I know it's a really difficult situation, but yeah, I just, I know you, just any advice for brides who are feeling really stressed.
Yeah, sure. So I've got a couple of tips here. So some very practical tips. I mentioned at the beginning of our interview, the benefits of a more alkaline diet, eating alkaline rich foods. One of the minerals, the alkaline minerals that most people are deficient in is magnesium. So we want to be eating lots of foods that are rich in magnesium. And the good news is they're foods like dark chocolates. If you buy, rather than buying kind of cheap milk chocolate with all sorts of preservatives and things, why not get a high quality organic, 90%, 80% cocoa, dark chocolate, which is rich in magnesium. So then you're taking a kind of unhealthy, potentially fattening food and making it a superfood, really, in effect.
Wow.
Yeah, there's also lots of antioxidants in dark chocolates. That's good for protecting against cancer and rejuvenating the skin, and lots of other benefits. So things like that. Other magnesium rich foods are leafy greens, so spinach, kale, those types of things. So maybe make some green smoothies. Doesn't have to be overly complicated, just some fruit, maybe an apple or a banana, handful of kale, handful of spinach, something like that. Juice of a lemon. Lemon's really good as an immunity booster. It's antiviral. So there's, the kind of antiviral aspect as well. Blend it all up, bit of water, and you're good to go, really. So yeah, failing that, or even in addition to that, I would recommend, especially in times of extra stress, taking magnesium before bed. So I buy a supplement. You can get magnesium citrate quite inexpensively on Amazon or eBay or wherever you buy your supplements. So magnesium citrate, you want about 200 to 400 milligrams. So whatever the kind of guidelines on the pack says, but around 200 to 400 milligrams, about half an hour before bed, is really good at supporting what's called your parasympathetic nervous system. So we've got two nervous systems: your sympathetic, which is all about kind of up and go and getting things done. So most brides will be living in that kind of nervous system most of the time. But we ultimately, at the end of each day, we want to be able to relax and rejuvenate and repair our bodies and minds. And magnesium is really good at supporting that. And especially if you're going to bed with 100 things in your mind and feeling a bit stressed, then magnesium is just going to help you switch into that rest and relaxation mode and have better sleep. So magnesium citrate, or you can get a spray, so magnesium spray, which absorbs through your skin, which is really good as well as an alternative. So that's a simple tip. Another detoxifying thing, so this is reduces kind of external stress on your body, is to do dry skin brushing. So just get like a loofah or like a rough brush, brush your skin after you've had a shower. Skin is dry, just brush it all over, legs, arms, stomach. It gets rid of dead skin, so it improves your skin tone, but it also stimulates your lymph system, which overall will boost your immunity and decrease environmental stresses and things. So a couple of really simple tips there that are not hard at all, but if you do it consistently, over the next few months will make a difference. And then I can get in some foods if you want, Amber, kind of like immunity boosting food.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, these tips, like especially the loofah, like dry skin, you would never think that.
No, I know. And it's such
So
a simple thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm gonna try it.
So in terms of superfoods, and so these have got they do a number of things. They're immunity boosting foods. So it's, most people I'm working with at the moment, most people I see in general, are interested in boosting their immunity to prevent against illness and disease and virus and things. So these 5 superfoods are antiviral. but they're also beautifying in terms of they improve skin, they improve hair, nails, brightness of eyes. So
Wow, perfect for
thinking
a
forward,
wedding.
yeah, thinking forward to that wedding day, these are the types of food you want to be eating. So number one, leafy greens. We've already talked about this to a degree. So things like spinach, kale, but also cabbage, broccoli, anything that's kind of vegetable-y and green basically is going to be good for you. It's going to be rich in alkaline minerals, so magnesium, but also potassium and calcium. And that's just it's so anti-aging. It's like I say, it's great for your skin, great for your immune system. So plenty of leafy greens. If you don't like, many people I work with say, well, I don't like eating kale or spinach. It's not very nice. Throw it in a smoothie, add some fruit. You can hardly taste the spinach or the kale if it's with other fruits and things, blueberries. But the other alternative is you can saute those greens with superfood number 2, which is grass-fed butter. So instead of having like these low-fat margarines, which are supposed to be heart healthy, they're actually anything but heart healthy. They're really not very good for you, these kind of margarines. So have grass-fed butter instead. It's full of healthy fats. So you've got a full spectrum of different fats. It's very stable when it's heated up. So when you saute butter with vegetables, it's a really stable fat. It's not going to turn into something which your body kind of can't deal with, like lots of other fats do. But more than that, butter is rich in vitamins A, vitamins D3 and K2. These are all, I could go into a lot of science on these, but suffice to say that vitamin K2 you can't really get from many other places, but it's really important in your nervous system function, which will help with keeping your stress levels kind of moderated and reducing anxiety and that kind of stuff. It's also good for your, what else? Yeah, your kind of overall hormonal system as well, and lots of other functions. D3, which we can get from sunlight, but maybe, most of us are slightly deficient in, if not very deficient in, vitamin D. So butter is a great way to boost that. And really bioavailable versions of vitamins A and E as well, these fat soluble vitamins. So, who doesn't like butter, real butter? So get rid of the margarines and the vegetable oils and things, and have butter. And then butter makes everything taste good. So you can take your greens and your mushrooms and your broccoli, fry it with some butter, add a little bit of garlic, maybe some turmeric, which is anti-inflammatory, and that's, it's super tasty, really easy. So that's superfood number 2. And then number 3, citrus fruits of any kind, really. So as I mentioned before, lemon is rich in vitamin C, as are oranges and grapefruits. So that's a really good immunity booster and good for your skin. And then the last 2 are slightly more obscure, although not majorly. Apple cider vinegar, which is great for if you're looking for a lean, flat stomach before your wedding, then apple cider vinegar is very good at flattening out your belly. And ginger, which is really anti-inflammatory. So I've actually got a recipe, Amber, that I'm happy to share for a really delicious apple cider vinegar ginger lemonade. It's really nice, and this is a great replacement to beer, cider, wine, soda, and it's really, really healthy, and will flatten that stomach out. So that's my 5
We've got some
superfoods.
downstairs, but yeah, I try. My husband drinks it all the time, but I don't like it. Yeah,
not nice on its own, is it? But when you mix it with like lemon and bit of stevia and some ginger, it's really good.
Ooh, great. I'm going to try that as well. Brilliant. So let's have a look. So let me just check. I know we had a lot on the list. So a lot of these, so I'll just go over the questions just to make sure I haven't missed anything. So you've obviously given examples of what people can do at home for free. So is there anything else that we've missed off that people can just do with the stuff that they've got at home that's really simple? I know you've given a few recipes. Is there anything else that we've missed?
I don't think so. No, I think that's enough to be getting on with. It's easy to overload people.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think just
And
focus on
then
those superfoods.
obviously, if people would like to go a little bit further and they want to invest, they actually want to, take the next step and not just do the odd thing here or there. They actually want to kind of invest, a bit more time and potentially, finances. What kind of options that people can do out there? Because obviously gyms are closed. I'm not sure about personal trainers, but, kind of with regards to kind of diet and exercise and things like that.
Well, just to say, in terms of weight loss and exercise and things, it's obviously great to do exercise, and it's great to, for toning and to get blood running through your body, or, oxygen running through your body by exercising. That's really good. But the facts are that 90% of weight loss is done with diet. So yeah, so if we're looking to kind of, improve our body shape and whatever else, and overall health, it really needs to be done with diet. I don't know about you, but I've been a gym member for 15 odd years, and there's a good hardcore of people in the gym who are there every day, pounding the treadmills, lifting the weights, and they don't change. They're still overweight, year after year, nothing changes. Whereas those people, we all have got a skinny friend, right, who just seems to just never exercise and does what she wants, and it maintains this lean physique. That's because of diet. So we really need to dial in our diet, and exercise is a kind of bonus on top, but let's not kind of use exercise as the main way to get in shape. So in terms of, I've got several programs that can really help you with getting your diet dialed in. So I've just created an immunity boosters formula course that's going to be available from next week. It's on a platform called Udemy, and it's just in the approval process at the moment. So that'll be available next week. And I've got a code. You can use the code AMBER. And maybe we could send a link out, or put a link.
I'll post it in the show notes. Yeah, if you send it to me, I'll add it into the information after.
Yeah, fine. So there'll be a heavy discount on that. It's quite a nominal amount actually for this course. So you'll be able to get in more detail these kind of immune boosting things that will be absolutely applicable to if you're, getting married in the near future, or are in, one of Amber's suppliers in a job or role that's quite stressful, or maybe a bit kind of up in the air at the moment. It's a good time and opportunity to get your immunity kind of boosted to that higher level, and reduce stress levels as well. So I've got my immunity boosters formula program. If you're interested in having a bespoke meal plan, where we'd kind of dive into your particular health goals, or goals before your wedding day, I'm happy to provide a bespoke meal plan. So if you want to contact me, and I'm sure Amber will leave my email address in the show notes, then feel free to reach out for that. And also I've got my Keto Life program. So Keto Life is, as I mentioned right at the start, the very best diet that I know to get great health results from even getting out of serious disease, as I've helped many people to do with this program, to just losing a few pounds and feeling better and having more energy. The combination of a low carbohydrate, high fat, ketogenic diet with a focus on these alkaline minerals is really just the optimum diet. It's like the Formula One of diets. So if you're looking to get, quite serious results quite quickly, then I would highly recommend my Keto Life program. And I'll give a discount code as well for your audience, Amber. So
brilliant. That's really good. So is there anything else? I know you've covered a lot of things, but is there anything else that you think we've missed, that would just be a tip that I haven't asked about? Sorry, so many questions, I can't remember.
I guess the last one would be things to sometimes, or as much a healthy diet and lifestyle is kind of eating the right foods, it's not eating the wrong foods. So 3 things I would say, and I don't know, many people will go, oh no, I can't give those things up, but things to consider cutting down on significantly, if not eliminating altogether, would be white refined sugar, vegetable oils and margarine. So
wow.
anything, so things like sunflower oil, safflower oil, soybean oil, cottonseed oil, canola oil, basically these big cartons of yellow looking oil are really just, they're rancid, they're very toxic and corrosive to our body. Those are the things that give heart disease, basically.
Wow.
So get rid of those, have the butter and olive oil and more natural oils instead. And the third thing would be wheat, I'm afraid, because wheat is, it causes a lot of gut issues, it causes bloating, and most wheat is sprayed heavily with pesticides these days. So I would say cut down on those foods, increase those superfoods, and you will see some really, really good results. And you can find me and feel free to reach out to me on any of this stuff. My main website is laurarimmer.com and my email address is care, C-A-R-E, @laurarimmer.com. So you can reach me there.
Brilliant. Yeah, we'll put all your links in the show notes. Probably won't do it straight away, but I'll do it tonight because I've got to put the baby to bed in a sec. But oh no, some really amazing advice. Thank you so much, Laura. I feel really encouraged on my journey of post-lockdown unhealthiness, and I've just had a baby, so I still got that mummy tummy that I need to work on. But yeah, I was thinking of doing a really strict fitness regime, so it's really confirmed to me that diet is actually more important than just going crazy on fitness. So I'm definitely going to be so what kind of things, I know you said wheat is one of the things to cut out, so what kind of things could you replace wheat with if wheat is quite a big part of your diet?
So if you want a grain, something like, well, if you want to go, I guess I'm thinking of two different aspects here. So if you wanted to go really low carb and ketogenic, then we'd be talking things like coconut flour, almond flour. I think they're the big two for kind of high fat, low carbohydrate things. But if you weren't doing particularly low carb, then things like spelt flour, what else? Even corn flour, any kind of gluten-free, probably organic is going to be best because then it's not sprayed, but a kind of gluten-free flour. And it's interesting because, you're a Christian like me, Amber, and some of the questions I get from Christians are, well, if wheat and bread is so bad, then how come, in the Bible, Jesus ate bread and, it can't be that bad. The thing is that, 2000 years on, the way wheat is produced, it's this huge monocrop, it's sprayed heavily with glyphosate, which is this really toxic chemical. And even if they wash the grains, it's still within that grain. So we're a far cry from, traditional farming 2000 years ago, which is a real shame. But it's just the way it is. So, we've got to take that into account. So try and get gluten-free grains and organic be a better option. And do you know what? It makes no difference when you're making like a muffin with, I regularly make like spelt flour, banana muffins with avocado and raisins and eggs and real butter and coconut sugar instead of white refined sugar. It tastes absolutely no different than the full kind of, the full wheat white refined sugar version. It really doesn't. So it's not as if we have to compromise on taste or anything like that on this diet. It just means we have to be a little bit more intentional with how we eat and how we do it.
Yeah, saying that's just reminded me, I've just my daughter's just started weaning, so I bought the Wean in 15 book by Joe Wicks, and he's got, obviously it's all no sugar and no salt and healthy food, but he has a recipe for porridge with grated apple and pear and mashed banana, and it is so amazing. Me and my other daughter eat it all the time, but there's no sugar in it, and I thought, oh, this is going to be really horrible, but actually it's the nicest porridge I've ever had, and it's no sugar, so it's really good for babies, obviously. But yeah, we just eat that all the time now. So yeah,
nice.
It definitely has made it actually taste better than just chucking a load of honey on it or something.
Yeah Well, Amber, I've got to say, like, you're so amazing. Like, you always impress me. You're doing obviously a lot right, because you just seem to have so much energy. You're like, baby, running a business, do these interviews in the evening.
Oh, I eat so much cake, it's really bad. That's what I was asking about the week, because my diet is probably cake, and I just love cake, so I just have to, if I have the option of a lunch or a cake, I just go for cake.
Well, you've got to try almond flour then. It's like a gatto. It's like really. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, almond flour is the way to go for cakes.
Yeah, I need to do that. Yeah, we just I think it'll be easy to switch in. I just haven't, it's really hard because we have to go to like a specialist supermarket to get the special flour. And we just go to the local one up the road, so I'll just have to make an effort and buy it in bulk. So yeah, that will be on my list, healthy shopping list, and healthy cake ingredients. Oh, well, thank you so much. We've gone a little bit over. Yeah, really appreciate you, all your preparation, all the amazing advice. It's been so helpful. If anyone is logged in and they haven't caught the whole session, I'm going to be reposting it on Instagram and Facebook, so you can catch up. And if anyone has any questions, please send them to Laura. I'll tag her in the post, because I'm sure she can help with any questions about any of the topics we've talked about. And I'll also post links into her links. I'll post links to her website link, and also the courses that she was talking about, because she's got some great resources and options out there for people that want to go a little bit further. I'll just check if we've had any questions on Instagram. I can't see the questions on Facebook, but I can see the ones on Instagram. Oh, Faye from Life Strong Kids says, you guys are amazing. Love that. Thanks, Faye.
Thanks, Faye.
You're amazing too. And Faye says, eating some right now. I'm not sure when that was posted, but that was either cake or... No, Faye's quite healthy. What could Faye have been?
I'm going to go with, I reckon Faye was eating leafy greens.
Yeah, leafy greens. Faye, were you?
Is that Faye,
leafy
wasn't
greens?
it?
Thanks. Oh, she said thanks, guys. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, so no questions on there, but that's great. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And
pleasure, Amber.
Oh, sorry, I've just put the phone down in the wrong place. Yeah, so thanks everyone for tuning in as well. We haven't actually got any more webinars planned, but if anyone's got any ideas, it was dark chocolate.
Nice.
Gotta say, super healthy on your superfood chocolate. So if anyone's got any ideas for webinars, let me know. And if you've got anyone you'd like me to include, I will invite them, because I love doing them, and it's great just catching up with people and sharing knowledge online, which is great, rather than seeing people in person. So thanks so much, Laura. And
Amber.
Good luck with all your course launch coming soon. Can't wait to see more about it. But have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, thanks, Amber. Okay. See you soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Bye-bye.